everyone, Nicole here from CellBotics. I have Brenda here on a Zoom call with me. She is a student of CellBotics. Been out of class that's one thing I didn't check. How long have you been out of class? Do you remember?
Since October.
October of 2019, right?
19, that's correct.
Okay. Brenda is just going to tell her story, and hopefully by listening, it'll give you some motivation to see that you can do the same thing and just go with whatever goals you have. And if you're interested in training or you have questions, you can always reach out to us. So, Brenda, where are you located at first off?
Okay, I'm in South Boston, Virginia.
Okay, and you traveled into Greenville to take our course.
I did.
Yeah, and so just tell them a little bit about, what do you do? I know you work full time, but what made you think about getting into this industry and specifically? Because it's just so random,
Right, that's exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a dental assistant, and I've been a dental assistant for 43 years.
Wow.
Well, my son was doing cell phone repair. And after he got sick, he had an illness, and he said, "Mom, can you take over my cell phone repair business?" I'm like, I have no idea. I know nothing about cell phone repair, but I'll give it a shot.
Right.
So here I go. He gives me all of his equipment that I have here behind me. I set up a room just for my cell phone repair, and came down to CellBotics there and took the class, and off I went. And I have really enjoyed it. The class was very informative, and there's no way I could have done it without you helping me, for sure.
Well, thank you. I try. Do you guys have a store, don't have a store, or did you close a store?
We don't have a store. I just do it in my home. And here with the coronavirus, outbreak, it's been a little tricky because, people don't want to meet me too close. I've had people leave cell phones in their mailbox. We communicate by text if they tell me what's wrong. And, I'll go pick it up out of their mailbox, bring it back to my home, take it back to their mailbox.
Nice.
They'll have the money in the mailbox for me in a bag, and that's it. So I've been doing a lot of that. That works out pretty good.
Right. So how do you get those kind of clients? Like, have you just built up word of mouth, or what are you doing to?
You know what? I do have a Facebook page, but I'm not good at advertising on Facebook at all. I'm bad with it. I do a little bit, but my theory is if you do a good job, the word of mouth is really all you need. And with the word of mouth, I've grown pretty good. I started out slow, and I said, well, I've got to make this Facebook page to get it out there. So I did, and did a little bit of advertising. And then after that, just the word of mouth, has gone around, and I have people every day. I have one today. And I'm averaging about one a day right now, which I think is pretty good because I started out maybe one a week, and that's since October. So I'm happy. It's growing. It's growing slowly.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like I was telling you.
That kind of helps me for it to be slow, because that gives me time to take my time and do a good job with it, and not feel like I've got 5 cell phones in a day and I've got to rush through them and do them,
That's right. And you want to do the work right. So, and that's the most important part. It's like we talk about in class. It is not about your speed. This is quality of work. Your speed will come later, you got to do quality because you don't want to burn any customers, So
and I can,
Yeah,
I can see that, when I first started, I was really looking at videos, and I'd follow step by step. Now, I can do a screen on a 5, 6, 7, or 8, and I don't need a video.
There you go. See?
I'm getting faster all the time.
That's awesome. That's what I try to tell people, because sometimes they're really scared. They're just like, can I really do this? You know what I mean? And yes, but will you take time? Yes. And do some people move faster? Yeah. I mean, but if you are slower, it's not like you're not going to be able to do it. It just may take you a little longer, and that's okay. I mean, if you're averaging 5 repairs a week and you average, let's say $50 to $80 a repair, that's a little good chunk of change to add to your normal paycheck, you know?
That's right. Exactly. That's more than you had, you know?
You know, and you get to do something fun and that you like, and you're helping people in your community. You know, it's not that big of a deal that you're not getting, you know, I got some students that are doing 20 or 30 a day now during the coronavirus. They're so busy because the store's closed. So the multi-techs are way more busy. I got a student right now, literally, wish I could show you his little text messages here. He just messaged that 4 phones today. He's doing free shipping anywhere. And he's messaging me every day telling me how many phones he had. We're gonna do a video together. But because in his big city, everything is closed. But he's much like you. I had Crystal that I talked to today and we did a video. She's up in DC and they take the little scooters, the scooters that you rent on the street.
Right.
And pick them up for people.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Home, you know, so it's like, yeah, so that's great. So I know that we talk a lot after class, so of course I'm just gonna say, do you think that the support and the information, I don't want you to feel guilted to say yes, but did the book help you? Is there anything in particular that it helped you with, or?
Oh my gosh, you should see my book. My book is almost worn out. I have flipped through it so much. Yes, that book is definitely a big help. You know, when I have a problem, first thing I do is I go look at that book. Yeah. If I can't find that book, then I get online and I go through some of the on the Facebook groups that do cell phone repair, and I type in my problem at the top, and I look and I spend hours, you know. Then if that does not work, then you know who I call or text. It's you. So, you know, yes, the book. I mean, that book has been awesome. It really has.
I know.
I definitely used that book a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a lot of good information. Yeah.
Well, you know, we have the grad group too on Facebook for graduates only.
Yes, and I look at that.
As much as you want to, because no one's going to be rude to you, you know. I get a lot of students that are scared to post in there. I'm like, no. Just post it.
To post in the big groups yet. I just go around and read everything they say. But, you know, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that yet. But I do the cell phone. Yeah, I haven't posted anywhere yet. I just kind of use it for information and go from there. Because a lot of problems that you have, somewhere along the line, someone else has had that problem, you know.
Exactly.
Like, that was my first problem, you know. I stripped a screw.
First problem, Leah?
Huh?
What was your first problem, you said?
Stripping a screw. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awful. That really was bad. But, you know, I ended up using a Dremel tool with a bit and trying to get it out.
Very good.
I tried the rubber band. I tried the glue, the little bit of glue. I tried everything. But, you know, people ask me, aren't you scared to do it? This is somebody's phone. Yeah. You know, aren't you afraid that you're going to mess up their phone? And I'm like, well, no, if you know what you're doing, you don't have to worry about that, you know. And the way to know what you're doing is just by practicing it, you know. And knock on wood, I haven't lost anybody's information yet, you know. I had a new screen last week that I put on, and I'm pushing it into place gently, and I got right up to the top of it. And one more push, and the new screen just cracked all the way across the top. So, you know, you're going to make mistakes, and that's the way you learn. I've learned, and every cell phone model is a little something different. That's why it's so important, you know, to follow along with the videos. You know, that helped me tremendously. Yeah. The videos that you have in the book, you know. So,
very good. Well, that's
great information.
If you were, you know, if you were talking to yourself before you took our class, what would you give yourself some tips, or, you know, what would you say to someone if you can think back to when you were thinking about doing this? What is something that took you a long time to jump in, or is there something that you would say to someone?
Yeah, I would say don't give up. If you're frightened to get into it, just start it. Just advertise yourself, get a phone. Actually, I haven't had any of my family. You would think my family. I've had more friends than I have family that's given me phones to repair. And the first phone I repaired actually was for my boss. He's a dentist. And he said, if you don't fix it, Brenda, don't worry about it. It's something for you to practice on. So, I did that. And I would love to do more. People ask me all the time about the watches and all that. I haven't done any of those, but I am going to try. If I can find an old one that I can practice on, I just want to give it practice before I get one's real watch, to do.
And we do a lot of the repetitive work in class, so that kind of gives you a little bit when you leave, even though you haven't done a ton of them. It's kind of like you did, because you did a lot of them when you were in class.
Yeah.
We did a lot of them. You do a lot, just over and over and over again,
Right.
Season. Yeah. So.
The class was awesome. I really enjoyed the class. You all did a wonderful job, really, with the class. You didn't feel stressed, or it was just you felt like you could ask any question you wanted. It was very informative. And look, I started not knowing a thing about it, nothing. And it feels so much more to learn. The longer I'm in it, the more I think I want to learn. And I tell people too, just if you want to do it, I would tell them just study everything you can about it, learn about the phone that you're getting ready to work on. I think you told us in class, watch a video before you go do a phone. Well, I keep my video on while I'm doing the phone. I stop it, do that little step, then I go to the next step, and I keep going through it like that. And after you do a few, you got it made.
I'm like, when you come to the point where you're like, I don't need this darn video, then you're done with them. But if you look at it and you're getting something from it, and even though you did go to class, we're giving you the base, how to fix things, how to test them, what tools to use, what's grounding, all that stuff. But the videos are there for those little tiny things that are so different between each one, And then we do a recommended video list, but there's just so much out there, you know what I mean? But it's just taking advantage of it and then knowing how to apply it. And then when you do run into an issue, knowing where to go to get help, which is what a lot of people. How do you like the vendors?
Yeah, I love I used a couple of vendors, the mobile centric, the Injured Gadgets. I use them mostly 100%. It's one or the other. Yeah. And I have had a time when I couldn't find a part, and then I go searching through my book and go down the line and look, till I find the part. Yeah. That book comes in very helpful. It's like I said, I need to laminate the pages because I'm about to wear it out looking at it.
We'll get you a new copy, don't worry. We got a copy loaded on the CellBotics.com site. I keep a PDF every time I change it, because I feel like I add stuff to it every week. That's why I for class, because I feel like every week I'm learning something new. People think because we're trainers that we should just know everything, and I'm like, it's impossible in this industry,
I agree. It would be impossible. It's so much to learn.
It doesn't come from here, it comes from out there. And so I've got to collect it all and then put it into the so it's like every day is like something new,
Right. People ask me questions all the time about, well, why is my phone doing this? Why is it doing that? And I want to say, it's more of a software problem than it is the cosmetic look. I said, look, I can repair the screen, I can repair the battery, I can repair anything else, but I'm learning. It's a learning experience when you have to learn something with the software,
That's right.
Why won't my phone do, different things? People come up with.
Yeah, they want to do something, which is really a niche industry, but there is a lot of work around the physical repair of the device. So that's so good. I'm just so happy. I think that you're doing great. I think you've reached your 5 repairs a week. That is awesome, even through the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's right. I think so too. I'm happy with what I do, you know.
That's awesome.
I'm happy with the way it's going, and you know, the repairs I do. I feel confident now. You know, at first I was like, you know, really scared about it, but now I feel confident, and I'm like, yes, bring them on, you know. And maybe I'll do more. Yeah, maybe I'll do more advertising now that I feel more confident.
I can help
At
you.
first, you just want to go slow.
Yeah, told me that you needed help with that. I keep hearing from you. You're doing repairs, and I thought she must be running ads. You know?
Yeah, not really. I just, like I said, I think word of mouth, that's the main thing you need, really. Do you have that?
We can talk one day, you know, next week or something, and whenever you want to, we can talk about some different ways that you can creatively advertise without even spending any money. Because I know right now with coronavirus, nobody's trying to spend no money. So there are other things that you can do too, and even through this virus, that you can get your name out there more. And I can help you. I'll teach you how to do it. It's not a big deal, you know.
You did. I had some cards made, you know, and you about taking them and putting them on cars, different things. It's got all those ideas in there. But I haven't done any of those ideas. And I have to admit, now because I'm out of work, I have time, I could do that. But, you know,
we can go over it again. I think that always helps, because same thing happens. Somebody goes with what they're comfortable with. Like I'll have someone be like, oh, I've advertised all over Instagram because they're on Instagram. But then there's probably 50 other ways to get your name out there, you know? So just even like going and talking to carriers, now they're open, you know what I mean? So like just simple things like that. And we'll go over little tricks and stuff like that. So let's just plan for something one day next week, and me and you will just chat about that. And
okay,
all the time. So you might as well, you know what I mean?
Right. And now that I feel more confident, I'm ready to move on to that step.
There you go.
You know, at first, you're almost afraid to jump into too much because you're afraid you're going to be bombarded with phones, and you're like, what am I going to do? But once you get the confidence built up, then I think the next step to more advertising is a good, yeah.
That's right. So we'll talk, well, we can even talk this week. I forget it's Monday today. So you just tell me sometimes this week. And let's just we can go back through. I'll send you like an updated PDF, because there's more ways now, but we can just go through that list and try to narrow it down to just a couple things you can do during this quarantine. Well, now they're starting to lift the quarantine, so, you know.
Yeah, maybe it'll
ain't going out, huh?
Exactly. Really soon, hopefully so.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Brenda. I really appreciate you doing this video. It's going to help a lot of people, you know, and speak to them. And thank you for, you know, coming to our class. And I have my window open, so don't mind the...
Yeah. Yeah. You're certainly welcome. I hope it helps someone, you know.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Be in touch, and let's plan. Send me some times for this week when you have like an hour, and let's go over different things that you can do.
All right. Sounds good. I'll do that.
I'll talk to you later. All right.
Bye.